Eva Baroni Combs, yes, it was breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child. I want you to tell adopted you because I felt that you could, enjoy also having a black parent to take care of you and help you out.
Things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head. But when you lose your man.
Terrence Howard reportedly mishandled key evidence tied to bizarre claims he was following his adoptive daughter, Ava. Meanwhile, federal charges against Diddy have expanded, with Ava now rumored to be among the new alleged victims. She's even expected to testify in court. Terrence might have been hiding major details, and it's all coming out now.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in and make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back.
Terrence Howard, the same one who recently dropped hints on a podcast, may have only scratched the surface. He claimed Diddy once tried to pull him into something private and unsettling, raising questions about what else he's hiding. During that intense conversation, Terrence also alleged that he's not the only black man Diddy has reportedly targeted. According to him, Diddy hosted freak-off events not just for wild partying, but to break men down mentally and emotionally, stripping them of confidence and dignity. He described these as manipulative setups, not parties. Though Terrence didn't mention names, he made it clear that other major figures have gone through similar ordeals, but stayed silent out of fear, shame, or both. He portrayed Diddy as someone who preys on black men, driven by greed and control.
Things. But when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man.
Terrence painted Diddy as someone who preys on black men at their most vulnerable, calling it a disturbing, long-running pattern behind the scenes. The internet exploded over the claims, but just as people thought Terrence had spilled everything, insiders suggested he's still holding back, and that what he's hiding could break the internet when it drops. Then came a Twitter video. Terrence looked visibly shaken yet resolute, hinting he was being threatened by powerful figures. He didn't name anyone but made it crystal clear. If pushed further, he'd expose everything. He even used the same phrase, man card, from his podcast BOMBSHELL, making it obvious he was referring to Diddy. Now, the word is that Terrence is finally starting to reveal the full truth, and it's said to involve Diddy's adoptive daughter, Ava Barron, and what really happened with her.
If you're going to speak against me, then use the same courage that it took for me to say those truths. Man to man, eye to eye, integrity and in truth. I've spent a lifetime earning the right to speak with the conviction about these truths that I speak. So if you want to tear that down, have the decency to come and say it directly to my face. And say it like a man. The conclusions. But we're going to do this respectfully, otherwise we'll end in a duel. And I mean a duel, real life duel, where only one person walks away.
For years, fans have questioned Ava's mysterious story. And with Terrence's recent hints, things are starting to look much darker. Online speculation is growing that Ava may have been one of Diddy's alleged victims. If that's true, this scandal could take a devastating turn for both Diddy and Ava. Let's rewind to 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic, when Diddy suddenly dropped a shocking announcement. He had adopted a young white girl named Ava Barron Combs. There was no lead-up, no backstory, just an unexpected reveal. One day, she was introduced to the world as part of the Combs family, like a polished new accessory. Diddy even went live on Instagram to share the news.
My name's Ava. I'm a Scorpio.
No. What's your last name?
Ava Combs.
What's your other last name?
Ava Baroni.
Ava Baroni Combs? Yes, it's breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child. I want you to tell them the story about how I adopted you. But you still have beautiful parents but you're my child also. But please tell the story.
So, I was on the streets, and then Papa Combs decided that he would like to be a caring man. So then he saw me and decided to pick me up and said to come inside and play with his kids.
That's like a little bit like borderline suspect. I don't want nobody. We want to get it clear. I adopted you like Madonna adopted kids, and everybody else adopted kids. Charlize Theron, everybody's ever adopted Sandra Bullock. I adopted you because I felt that you could, enjoy also having a black parent to take care of you and help you out. So, just clarify it because it's crazy out here online. So I played with the kids. And I got permission from your mother. Say all of that. It's crazy out here.
Well, I met Jesse and Delilah when I was 6 months old.
6 months.
And then basically our sisters, all 4 of us. And then I always come over.
Yeah. And it's Ava Barron Combs. Let's go.
The whole situation with Ava felt so sudden and rushed that most people either brushed it off or forgot about it entirely. Truthfully, she hasn't been mentioned much since, which might explain why her name only resurfaced once Diddy's legal troubles hit the headlines. Back then, his announcement seemed like a feel-good moment. Adopting a child during the height of the pandemic when so many were struggling was seen as a kind and generous act. People praised him for stepping up and offering stability during a time of global chaos. It gave off that classic celebrity with a heart vibe. But now, with all the disturbing rumors swirling, that same video of Diddy introducing Ava hits differently. What once looked noble now feels unsettling. The gesture that seemed heroic suddenly gives people chills. And it's not just that. Diddy even compared adopting Ava to what Madonna did, which raised eyebrows across the board. That alone was a bold, strange move. The truth is, stories like this have been circulating in the industry for years. People behind the scenes have whispered about Diddy's behavior for a long time. Those who know the business know this isn't new. They've heard the rumors, seen the patterns, and now it's all bubbling to the surface.
It's craziness, man. And you know what's so crazy is, bruh, that all these stories has been around the industry for a long time. All these industry people know that Diddy been acting like this and doing this and try to engage. Yo, it's a lot of stories that goes around in this industry about not just him, other people. Jimmy Iovine. Ain't nobody talking about Jimmy Iovine. He got charges and everything on him. But he got those publicists that's keeping it out off of CNN. It's keeping it off the major news reports. Nobody's talking about that. This is something that goes on, man, that they're gonna push up under the rug, and a few years later, Bad Boy 5, 6, 7, 8 will be out.
Many have started questioning whether every part of Ava's adoption followed proper legal protocols. Years back, the Ethiopian World Federation publicly accused Madonna of human trafficking. claiming she misled families with promises of U.S. education opportunities, only to adopt their children outright. That controversy sparked international outrage. So when Diddy openly said he modeled Ava's adoption after Madonna's, it immediately raised eyebrows. People began wondering what was really going on. But things didn't stop there. That Instagram video Diddy posted with Ava is now under fresh scrutiny. It's not just what he said, it's the unsettling vibe. Observers noted that his sons were front and center in the video, while Ava barely appeared. Fans have repeatedly asked if Ava wanted to hang out or play with Diddy's daughters, why weren't they included? Why was she surrounded only by the boys? That question hit hard. But the most disturbing part? Ava's body language. She looked tense, stiff, and deeply uncomfortable. Not at all the joyful tone you'd expect during what was supposed to be a celebratory moment. That alone set off alarm bells. Was it just camera shyness, or was something far more troubling going on? Some viewers are convinced the energy in the room was off. And when you factor in that Diddy's sons have their own controversial headlines, Justin being mentioned in the Lil Rod case, Christian facing legal issues of his own, the scene takes on an even darker tone. But the biggest red flag of all? Ava all but vanished after that video. Aside from a couple of blink-and-you-miss-it appearances near Diddy's twin daughters, Jessie and Delilah, she was gone. No family vacations, no birthday shout-outs, no live streams. Total silence. It's as if she was pulled from the spotlight, just as suddenly as she was introduced. And here's the thing, Diddy had her calling him Papa Combs. That's not just a nickname, that's a deep, personal title, like he was positioning himself as her true father. So the question now is, why did she suddenly disappear? Where is Ava Baron Combs? And why does no one seem to be talking about it anymore?
It's going to come to the forefront. Now, what they're looking for, because it was going on the premises of, they're looking for pictures of girls that may appear to be underage in a context, like they in this app. That's what they're looking for. So now they're going to go through all those devices. If somebody got any kind of weird that they got little kids or little girls or something like that in any kind of pictures or any kind of photos that they took out of there.
According to Gene, Ava wasn't just mistreated, she was exploited. He claimed the adoption was never about giving a child a better life, but a cold, calculated PR move. Diddy, he alleged, used Ava to gain sympathy and attention during the pandemic, presenting himself as a hero, and then discarded her like she never existed once the cameras stopped rolling. Gene didn't hold back. He said the moment Diddy got the image boost he wanted, Ava was sidelined and essentially abandoned. And now, with federal investigators reportedly hunting for photos and videos possibly involving underage girls in suspicious contexts, the situation is getting even darker. Devices are being searched for anything that hints at exploitation. And if what Gene suggested is true, the findings could be deeply disturbing. He painted a chilling picture. Diddy allegedly found a homeless girl, pulled her into the spotlight, under the illusion of a loving adoption, and then staged a public performance. Fake smiles, fake fatherhood, all for the cameras. Behind the scenes, Gene claimed it was all a show. Once the spotlight dimmed, so did Diddy's role as Papa Combs. Gene stopped short of directly accusing Diddy of harming Ava, but his implications were loud and clear. He hinted that many in the industry already knew the truth, but stayed silent. A pattern we've tragically seen before. R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, powerful men shielded for years while victims were ignored or silenced. Even, Cassie once said Diddy was always surrounded by enablers, people who either looked the other way or helped cover things up. So as Gene dropped these bombshells, the public couldn't help but wonder, what else has been hidden behind the scenes? For all these years? Then came Gene's most alarming claim. Diddy may possess inappropriate, possibly illegal, footage involving Ava, He alleged that federal agents are actively seeking these videos because they believe they exist. If true, this isn't just a scandal anymore. It's a potential criminal case. And here's where things twist further. 50 Cent. Word is, he's been aware of Diddy's alleged behavior for years. Many dismissed his early jabs as pettiness. People assumed he was just bitter over past beefs or deals gone sour. After all, 50 is known for holding grudges like trophies. But now, those old comments are being re-examined with new weight that even hinted at much darker truths being suppressed. In one chilling post, he said, "This is why they put that tape out. They know they can't prosecute him with what we saw, but they know we can't unsee it." That line alone sent waves across the internet. Insiders say 50 Cent has actual proof tied to Diddy, and possibly Ava, that he plans to include in his upcoming documentary, Did He Do It? Marketed as a full exposé, he's calling it his next blockbuster. Promos have already dropped. Here come the receipts. He even warned Diddy to declare bankruptcy, saying only someone truly wealthy would understand the strategy behind that move. Bold, loud, and at the time, largely ignored. Ava's name had faded, until Terrence Howard started making noise. When Terrence began suggesting he knew something huge involving Ava, everything shifted. Then came the federal indictment. And this time, the feds weren't pulling punches. The newly revised indictment added 2 more unnamed individuals and revealed disturbing new details. Prosecutors now claim that Sean Combs engaged in a persistent pattern of abuse, verbal, emotional, and physical, against women and others. This wasn't random. It was, according to the charges, part of a long-standing and methodically planned system. The document alleges Diddy lured women into orchestrated scenarios.